what's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to the latest video. So I have the loaded 1957 Stratocaster body here, and this has got a lot of issues that we're going to go over in today's video. Hopefully try to correct some things. I've got the two original pickups over here. One looks like a rewind and one is dead. So we're going to take a look at that, see if we can maybe repair it. There's a couple different methods that you can use. So we'll test the readings on those, see what we can do. I've also got a reissue pick guard here. This is like a 1980s 57 reissue guard, and I want to swap that for the one that is on the guitar currently. As you can see, it's got this crazy wear pattern. This guy must have played a heck of a lot. You know, that's really cool, and if I decide to sell this guitar, this guard will go with it. But for functionality and look and everything, I'm going to put this single ply on here. This is a 3-ply too, which is not period correct. So we're going to throw that on here, wire it up, hopefully get that dead pickup working. If not, I'll have to figure out what to do with that. The wiring in here is pretty shot too. So I'm going to see what I can do there to try to clean that up. And the other issue with this guitar, there's all these different strap buttonholes that are really everywhere. The best guess is that the owner previous was maybe like a slide player, like lap steel type player, and maybe he kind of had it rigged up like this, essentially. The strap would come over, whatever. I do know that he was a country player, and if you're interested, there is a cool story on this guitar, and I'll link the original video down below. It sounded really cool when it was together, and like I said, it's got a bit of history with it. So if you want to go check out that video, I'll link it down below. So actually, what I was saying was this strap buttonhole over here is just totally routed out, and there's actually a broken off screw in there, so I can't even fit the original strap button on here, which I have. I've got to figure something out there, and honestly, I'm not a woodworker. I don't really know what to do. I mean, I would assume you'd have to dowel this out, you know, plug it, and ideally, whoever ends up with this guitar, you know, you'll probably want to do that. Luckily, they're in areas where, you know, nobody's going to care. Plug it with some ash, who cares? If you refinish this thing, literally no one will ever know. So yeah, if that sounds interesting, you might stick around and hang out. I do this kind of thing on my channel, just mess around with old guitars. It's fun for me. Seems like other people enjoy it. So if you do, please leave a comment and let me know. If you haven't already, please subscribe. That's really cool, and I do appreciate you. So I'm gonna move the camera over and we will get started, all right? So it's funny because these original pickups, they were in the case with the guitar, in these little Seymour Duncan boxes, and I mispronounced Seymour in one of the previous videos. I got totally grilled for it. That is the power of social media. Will not make that mistake again. But anyways, here's the original pickups that were in the case. So this would be the bridge pickup, as you can see, the original cover as well, which is nicely aged. And you pull it off and you'll see that wire is pretty orange. And what that means is this is a rewind, and that is what happens. You know, these pickups can easily die, and if this was just sitting in the case, then it's not surprising that you know, they got it redone. But let's go ahead and get a reading on this just to see what we're working with here. So I'm reading this upside down, but it looks like 6.75, so that's actually pretty high. That's not exactly what I was looking for. I mean, this is a bridge pickup, so you can get away with that in the bridge. Not such a big deal, to be honest. If you like more of a like sharp kind of P90-ish tone, you know, obviously you're gonna want that in the bridge. So you know, that's okay. That's all right. Here is the middle pickup, and if you look at that, that's what original winding looks like. So it's pretty dirty, and it has this kind of dark copper look to it. Pretty sure this pickup is dead. Let's just test it again. It's just done. So I've learned this really from my good friend Nick, who also has a channel. You can go check him out. So you have two options here, really. The first option is to take a soldering iron and heat up these two little solder joints right here. Heating them up might make a connection, and it might bring the pickup back to life. If that doesn't work, you can take a look at it and see if there's any visible breaks. So if you've got a wire just hanging off, you know, you might get lucky and find a wire that's hanging off, so you can unwind it until you find that break, and then from there resolder it, and you might have an original winding pickup that's working again. But I don't think that's the case. Here is the bad news with this pickup. I think that someone pushed the magnet on the G string. If you look at it, it looks like somebody pushed this down. It is what it is there. But when you do that, you're taking the risk that you push that magnet down and it creates a break inside of the coil and it's ruined. I will solder these little joints here and just see what happens, but more than likely this is gonna need a rewind. And that's unfortunate. I hate to see original winding ruined like this. You know, that's what happens. So let's go ahead and heat these solder joints up. Just see if we get lucky. All right, you don't wanna get this thing too hot, but yeah, you just take your soldering iron and heat up this little area right here until it melts. You'll see it just like that. And do the other one. That's all it takes. So yeah, I got nothing still. Yeah, that's a shame. So because I can't see any break in the winding, I'm thinking this is gonna need a rewind, which I've used Lindy Fralin in the past and they do great work. So I may do that. If you guys have any other suggestions, please let me know. So let's pull off this guard and take a look. I've already unsoldered it there. And we'll put this over to the side for now. So here's what we're dealing with here. This is the original neck pickup, which oddly enough, this one has the G string pushed down as well. So back in the day, they used to use a wound G string. I don't know if that has anything to do with why you would push that down. This pickup is still working from what I understand, and we're going to need to unsolder this mess and take a look, but I guess we could just get a preliminary reading on the neck pickup at 5.65. And again, that's in series or whatever with some of this wiring, so it may not be 100% exact, but close enough. Point is that I always say this on my channel, all these old pickups are really low output, so this is another example. We can take a look and see if that's original winding, but let's go ahead and unsolder some of this junk and get this other pick guard put on. So this is a reissue guard, and I think it looks really good. It's got some rust kind of baked in, which is nice and authentic, and the sunken pickup screw holes. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think it looks the part, and it's actually got some playwear too. My Mary Kay guitar has the original guard, and this looks really accurate, so I don't see any reason to try to seek out an original single ply. Honestly, it's pretty much impossible to tell the difference, so I think this is gonna look really good. All right, let's go ahead and take this stuff off. All right, so I got it disassembled. I thought I would show you guys a couple things here. Got the old Seymour Duncan pickups here in the original boxes. That'll just go along with the guitar, whoever wants it one day. Here's the guard, and this thing is just insane. So a lot of people thought this was fake, but that is 100% real. I mean, there's no way that you would be able to replicate that. It's totally smooth, and I think it was from Finger Picks. So this guard has all the vibe you would ever want. It's discolored, worn through, super cool. I was thinking maybe it could be like a 64 or after white guard, but looking at the back, I don't think so because of this aluminum shield plate down here at the bottom. So this part right here is actually original to a 50s Strat. This would have been factory on a 1950 Strat before they went to the full pickguard shape shield. So this is original to the guitar, but I don't think Fender would have used any kind of shielding like this. So I think this is just an aftermarket guard, you know, that might have been put on sometime in the 70s or 80s or so. And again, this will just go with the guitar one day. All right, so time to take this guard and assemble everything, and then we'll check in here in just a second. All right, so we got everything that's working wired up here. This pickup, gonna send off, no reason to put it in just yet, but this is looking pretty solid. Got the two original pickups back in here, and these are the two original 57 pots. They actually date to 15th week of 57, so those are really early. That's the original capacitor that's barely holding on. The same capacitor that's in my 59 for those of you that are inquiring about that. So I'm just going to throw it on the old body here and we can take a look. So yeah, imagine this pickup is in there. Should look pretty good. It's gonna look a lot more factory. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you dig this kind of video, please leave a comment, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. It really helps me grow my channel. So I thank you so much. Stay tuned for next time, all right? Peace.